What's going on, traders from the inner circle? Welcome to a new video over here where we're going to have a look on the price action from today. We're going to look on GU and the Euro USD as always. Plus, I'm going to give you then a top-down analysis and the idea that I have for tomorrow. Okay, I know today it was a little bit tricky, so I didn't really send out too much analysis as I really had no idea on how to get into these trades. I just share with you that I'm super bearish on it, but I didn't really understood how we're going to get involved into a situation like this, because we just have here, you need to understand, on GU and Euro, we just have right now a big massive movements to the downside because we tapped into some orders. So on GU, it's more clearly because on GU, we tapped into this daily supply zone over there, which I mapped out multiple times in the past and I explained to you guys. We have liquidity here. This is a strong area for a nice swing trade. But to be honest, I completely missed that one. So yeah, it's really stupid because price moved from here a lot, so it's really 400 pips, around about 400 pips. And imagine taking right now here one pip stop loss, or let's say 2 pip stop loss, so you would have gaining here over 200 are pretty easy. If you would like, we can even check it out, what the price action confirmation here was at the end. I'm not sure. I just know that I completely lost it. Now I can remember. So you can see here actually how beautiful this kind of thing completely switched bearish. So it gave us here a nice break of structure, So I've been in this trade, but I closed this trade. That was my problem. So I just closed that one trade because I thought about, yes, price didn't really tap into this supply here too much, so it went just here to fill in here some imbalances. So we had here this supply zone. I'm not sure if we tapped into this one, but my idea was, yeah, that we probably should go here or even there. That one would have been the best because you can see here it's not really mitigated. Let me just check it out. Oh, damn, that was my failure, because this one is mitigated, so it was clearly we should not come there. Okay, so look at this. It was just my mistake, guys, because I didn't really understand what the market did here. So yes, this is liquidity at some point, but it is just supply chain, so price is moving here into a pretty nice supply chain. Here this one liquidated perfectly, this one, and the last supply here, which went lower, everything mitigated. And this one is also a mitigation at the end. So this one can be also viewed as mitigation. So on GU, to be honest, it was clear that was the end. Now I'm not sure if we tapped into here. So if price also tapped into it here, then I'm a really stupid trader, to be honest, because this would have been okay. So that was kind of the thing, I guess. I mean, here it's difficult because normally this would be my supply, or I would have even put it like this. If you draw it like this, I think then we really tapped into it. And this is right now super interesting. Yes, so that is valid, so that would be valid at that point. And I just thought about when price was at that level, okay, probably we will see something. So here on the minute 5, here you still had here some supply zone. So this one we didn't tapped into this supply zone right over there. Okay, so a little bit tricky, but you can see how price is always respecting everything. I mean, yes, on the minute 5 you will always find supply zones which are now fully mitigated, like this one, for sure. And this is a strong supply zone, and of course it could have been a nice opportunity. But whenever you're dealing with such a high time frame supply zone, it is always tricky to get involved into it properly. It just mitigated 50% at the end of this supply zone. So yeah, why should it not come all the way back up? So the opportunity is still there currently, of course. I don't really expect that, to be honest, just because of you can see how massively it moved to the downside. So I'm not sure if there are too much orders left on the weekly time frame, because this is at the end a weekly supply zone as well. So it fully broke structure to the downside. This is a very massive one, and currently we're approaching this demand area, which is valid because of price broke this previous structure right over there. Oops, wrong instrument. Okay, so currently this would be also the idea. I mean, we tapped into it already. So why should it not come all the way back up to liquidate this is a possibility. But for me, to be honest, a possibility which I do not really take into consideration, because that it will move like this all the way to the upside. Phew, I would need to see some more confirmations for that. And if price will really come all the way back up, then probably yes, of course we will take a short, because it just makes so much sense that it will be a short scenario. But just because of the matter of fact that the price had here this still has this demand area here left. But let's come back to our example very quickly, just to explain right now this entry, which was pretty obvious at the end. So it's always obvious, that's the problem with smart money concept at the end, because you always will understand this kind of things, especially on the way on how we are trading, because we just have more specified rules on how we take our entry, the way on how we are analyzing, the way on how we're looking at structure, and how we put everything together is something which really gives us a huge advantage over the other ones, because they are just trying to just entry at every single order block. They do not even understand what liquidity at the end really is and how to use it properly, because liquidity is everywhere, guys. And this is kind of the thing which makes it pretty hard for these ones who are not experienced in this business. I'm trying my best to always show with you everything which I know. And this is why the best thing is to always, here a very good tip from my side, which really brought me further. What I'm always doing is, especially when I had a loser day like it is today, then I'm spending a lot of time behind the charts. I'm analyzing and I'm doing a lot of back testing, trying to understand what my failure was at the end, because which confirmations or which kind of things leaded me personally to take that one trade, and why it was completely wrong. Because whenever you have a stop loss hit, in most of the cases, it's not because of the strategy is bad. No, it's because of you are bad. Okay, because of your psychology, your mindset. It really depends also how your week is going on, and many factors, because this is why for me 90% of this trading is just mindset, and we need to manage that one first, okay, to really understand how to think in this business, and that we should just respect the losses. It's just part of this business. If you're not ready to take losses, you're also not ready to take wins. And like I said already today in my Instagram story, which is super important, I had a pretty crazy months the last couple of months. I really appreciate that. I really understood a lot of things about trading recently, and this is why I'm always coming up with new refinements. Also the way and how I view structure currently, because of that one thing of candle closing below and above it to really confirm my overall structure. That way on how I'm using the time frames, 4 hour, minute 15, minute 1, and so on. I really respect this time and everything, and especially whenever I have days like this where, okay, I mean I just lost one trade, but the day before, I think it was on Tuesday, I had four losses. That was something which I noticed, it's been a long time, I mean, of course, I had also in the couple of months, I had also days where I've been losing 3-4 trades, but this week was just, one day full of losses, today also full of losses. I mean, it was just one, so it was just 2 days really profitable at the end. It's not a problem, of course, not a problem, but I just faced then the situation how probably the majority of you are dealing with, because I know how this is. I've been through that. I'm currently trading Smart Money Concept over a year, and at the beginning I was super successful trading this, but then I was super bad, you know. And the thing why I was super bad is because I was just, from a mindset perspective, I was not good enough. Plus, I didn't really understand the strategy. Plus, I didn't had any kind of refinements. Okay, and this is something very important. So you really need to have more specified rules. And this is why I really recommend to everybody to please watch the whole videos. Also the Zoom calls, especially the Zoom calls, is where we talk to each other a little bit, you know. You're asking me questions. I'm trying to give you the most out of what I see on the charts. At the end, it's you, you know. At the end, it's you who need to put everything into practice, and you are responsible if you're successful here in this business or not at the end. What I can do is just to offer you the best education ever, to be honest. So it's really 3 years of experience what I gained. I mean, I traded retail trader concepts, and this was super bad. Still, I was profitable at the end, guys. But SMC is completely different, you know. But still, SMC alone will not bring you further. Refine SMC with straight rules, you know, like we have our entry style patterns, our charge, and so on. This is something which really brings you further, guys. Okay, so if you have any questions, feel free to ask me. Just because I noticed it today, don't ask me questions about things which you can just watch in the videos. Because problem is, I cannot describe your problem or your question that you have in a few text examples, you know, or with a few screenshots. The best thing is to always watch the videos and to understand the whole context of it, you know. Like today, I want a question with mitigation. It's very simply to answer mitigation, but did you really understand what mitigation is? Do you understand what a supply chain is? So for instance, this video is much more powerful than me describing it in a few words. Okay, so this is why I think that whenever you're a beginner or you're already familiar with SMC and you're watching my content over there or in the inner circle, I think that this kind of thing is really pushing you further because everything is pretty good explained. And if not, then please give me a little bit of feedback so that I can change it. So let's continue with GU, with the entry. So what we did is we had a weekly supply, just to sum it up, you know, weekly supply zone. This is why we have been interesting at this area to even short. For instance, going down daily, also supply zone. Going down 4 hours, also supply zone. And then the last part, what I'm always doing is minute 15, you know, minute 15. And this is where everything gets interesting. There is one big difference between the trades that we took based on a 4-hour structure and that one on this higher time frame thing. On this higher time frame thing, it's a little bit difficult, you know, to refine it really to the 1 minute supply zone and to wait there for a proper charge or BOS. So what I recommend in such a high liquidity pool is definitely a shift on the minute 15. Definitely. You know, the best would be even if the 4 hours would shift or 1 hour. 1 hour is also pretty good sometimes. But I recommend the 15 minutes more. So here we can see the first shift. I'm not telling you that you cannot trade this. You know, this is also possible. So in this case here, perfect liquidity, refined 1 minute supply zone probably. But let's stay here on this. Let me just refine this a little bit here. Just show you. So here, for instance, what you can see, this is Wyckoff. You know, this is just Wyckoff distribution kind of thing. Market is liquidating in step by step. You know, this, then this. Moving down, breaking structure, coming to return all the way back up. This is tricky to get an entry right here somewhere. I mean, this is a supply area, but do you really get it there? I don't know. But what you can do here pretty easy is charge, you know. So this is why charge is a powerful tool. So you got here, there your charge. And then the way on how you entry is pretty easy, you know, just at the supply zone, so right over there. So you can really do here some crazy stuff entries if you just recognize it pretty. You need to just recognize it, okay? So EC20 our target. So here you can see also pretty good why me personally, I'm always closing around 20R is where I'm trying to close whenever it makes sense. So here, for instance, okay, I draw it down 20R. Of course, I will just, you can close it around this demand zone, for instance, you know. So me personally, I would not close it like this because this is impossible probably. Doing like this is how I would do it, and you see it's around about 20R, so I'm good with that. I will close it here, okay? For instance, that's what I'm doing. 20R is nothing, not a magic number or something like that, but it's just my daily target, you know. I don't recommend using 20R at the beginning, of course not, but over time, definitely you should try to get out the most, you know, to really get out 20R if it's possible. Okay, then price is moving down, which means that this whole kind of thing here is there is still liquidity, you know. So we didn't really tap here, for instance. Yes, this is a supply zone, but we didn't tap like this. So there is still something, and this kind of thing here where we entered previously is currently creating here equal lows in addition. So this is how you need to view it. So you got equal lows, prices moving down, and look at this. Here you got your BOS. And a BOS doesn't always mean, yes, the market is going to go bearish and stuff like that, because this is how SMC is teaching it to you, and your entry should have been right over there. And this is stupid because this will never work. The thing is, a BOS is only here to get the liquidity, okay? To bring the people to go short, you know? And that's why it will go bullish in the first place, you know? It will go bearish. There you have your breakout traders, then it goes all the way back up. Then you got your support resistance traders, again, your SMC traders, and they're expecting this. What the market will do is, boom, push up, getting the liquidity. We are getting our entry, and this kind of thing is just dropping to the downside. Very easy, you know? Look at this. Price is giving you a reaction from it, creating liquidity. Boom. Here it could have been your second entry, for instance. How you can scale in, for instance, is also a possibility. Okay, you know, you are in a liquidity area. You know, you got all these factors. This kind of thing can be super bearish. You have your additional liquidity to confirm this kind of new re-entry style, and boom, this market is dropping. Okay, so you have here a lot of possibilities. You just need to recognize them and to use them the right way. Okay, this was a pretty good example right now on how we trade. Hopefully this helps the majority of the new members here. Okay, then I would say let's go back. Let's go to analyze today's price action, because today's price action was, yeah, difficult. How should I say it? It was difficult, but it made a lot of sense. Okay, I know it sounds always pretty easy to say it afterwards, but yes, it made sense. That's why I was bearish for today, and that's why I was also careful in picking up my trade setups for today. The thing is, the price started to move bearish since that one supply zone. You know, this is why I explained it to you, this kind of thing, because price was in general at a weekly structure. You know, weekly structure is powerful. Weekly structure is going to be respected many times, and weekly structure is bearish. So it means we should follow the bearish trend at the end. The thing is, what the daily time frame also did is it broke structure right over there. And since then, it was confirmed that it's definitely bearish, you know. It's bearish market right now. And what I wanted to see is always, yeah, come back. Come back to the supply. Come back to the supply. But I need to tell you that this supply is not a strong one, because this supply didn't broke any structure. You know, it just broke here this previous kind of structured thing. But it didn't really broke this structure. This structure was broken by this supply zone. So this is a strong one. This is also a good one, because this one has broken this structure. So yes, it's good. And right now, the most important thing, why it didn't came all the way back up, and that was my problem. This is just pure liquidity, guys. pure liquidity. Only this one was not pure liquidity. This was pure liquidity for potential demand zones. But as you can see, price never respected it, so it just went down. Nothing. So it was just here this kind of movement, which was used to tap into the supply zone. That's it. That was the whole demand on the daily time frame. That one quick reaction. I like right now also to minimize these 4 hours supply zones. So this is how they look now. These are right now relevant. But as you can see, also here, there was not a single one which was good as expect of this one. This one was good from my point of view. I didn't really understand, okay, why we didn't here had any kind of reaction. It was because of, at the end, I think it was the minute 15, which was already mitigated, or we didn't have anything pretty good on the minute 15 time frame. Yes, that is the point, If you look here, this would have been good. This one should have been a little bit good. As you can see, it didn't respect it. Nothing. So really nothing. It went just below it. Of course, this can happen as well. So it doesn't mean that every supply or every demand is good. In this case, because of we've been tapping into this high liquidity area, it's why there was so much pressure. You need to understand that the smart money traders, they brought the market all the way back up because they just wanted to close this buy position. That's it. So they closed their buy position. So what is the reaction from it? Boom, just moving down. Of course, they cannot just let it drop like it's nothing. They need to react a little bit from it. They are taking some pauses. There are smaller SMC traders, which is they're taking profit at these areas. That's it. Why it's always spiking up a little bit. It's taking also the liquidity from the retail traders. So it's not an easy market. It just looks easy because it's right to the trend. But where are you going to jump on this trend? The only possibility, since the whole movement from a 4-hour perspective was here. And at that moment, it was not clear if it will drop down. Why? Because it was a demand on a daily time frame and on the 4-hour time frames. And the price even reacted from it. But here in this case, you can see how it perfectly respected structure. And since then, it just broke structure step by step to the downside. And you can just move on your ranges and everything was good. And that's why also today I was super bearish on it. And yes, I wanted to be involved into a bearish position, and I was involved in one, and this one was liquidated, took my stop loss, and I just thought, okay, not my day. I hadn't any ideas already, so why should this change right now from the second in the next seconds? Okay, so currently from today's price action, just to illustrate it to you, so when today was here, we spiked below the where we broke structure. Then we went below demand zone and we had no reactions. So the idea was today to go here bearish, but if you just look here, where should you get an entry, guys? So there is nothing. I mean, yes, this is a supply zone, for instance. This would have been the supply zone which would have been working out at the end. But you had this one as well. Okay, this one is not a good one because it didn't break structure. Okay. Okay, this one could have been working out as well. But look at this. I mean, it's so weird, the whole supply zones here. It's only this one because, yeah, it had liquidity. Okay, I'm okay with that. Okay, it really had liquidity. That would have been a possibility. Yes. Did I miss it? Yes. For me, just not so obvious situations like this, to be honest. Because here, if you analyze the minute 5, okay, this would have been the supply. This is the minute 5 supply. Now I'm super curious, guys, if the 1 minute is showing me something which I missed today. Not really. The thing is, if you just monitorize here, it's here the fact where it took this liquidity. So it went, you need to understand it, it just went like this. And then here, it's the first time when it took this liquidity, went lower, 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 and then started to move down. Crazy. And then this is the area for them, and this where have been their triple highs, which they liquidated afterwards. So this one is tricky. This one is not that tricky. And if you understand this, then you understand this one as well. You know, this is how you can refine your entries as well, because you can see how price is giving you a reaction from here. Pretty good reaction. Here we had the first touch, and it wicked definitely above it, because it wicked already here. Yeah, it wicked here again. Yeah, difficult. Still, from my point of view, difficult to recognize this kind of thing today. But it just made sense because, yeah, you had your liquidity, you had the supply zone, you know, this created a new supply zone because you've had this one strong move down. But, you know, it didn't really broke this structure, for instance. If it would have been breaking this one and it would have been returning all the way back up, yes, then I would have been more familiar with it. But this is just, you know, just too difficult, I guess. And, I mean, we don't need to be so good, you know, to recognize stuff like this. This is just very unrealistic sometimes, and you don't need that, you know. So if you have days like this, okay, just skip that day. But yes, it would have been an easy 20R. Yes, it makes sense, of course. It makes sense, you know. From here it broke structure. Let me just illustrate it to you one more time, so you can see that was the supply zone. This this green candle went lower, it broke structure right over here with this strong move down. Keeps pushing, you know, keep pushing. Then this was liquidity, came all the way back up. In this case, you know, this is an unmitigated one. This one here was mitigated. This is why this one is not good. This one was mitigated as well. It was only this one which was not mitigated, but you need to keep in mind this one is just at an extreme level, and extreme levels are not always here to be touched, you know. So you can see our price just moved down in the supply chain here. Pretty nice to the downside. So, you know, yes, this would have been a possibility as well. So if the price would have been moving up higher, then yes, this would have been a crazy supply zone for getting short. But you need to understand this kind of thing. You are bearish, you know, you have liquidity on the left side like hell, because of the daily time frames have been moving in the same kind of thing in these demand chains to the upside. So right now, because of they realized their profits at the supply zone, yes, it's dropping down. So you need to hop on the train. Okay, this is how I call these kind of trades. Hop on the train. So you need to understand, yes, it's difficult, but this is the only opportunity. You know, to go short, that was the only opportunity that day to take out traders and to get into this trade. It was only here possible because you will not use a supply zone which is already mitigated. That doesn't make sense. You know, this was the only one which was not mitigated and had liquidity. That's it. That was the reason why this one was the right trade. And I would have been entering it already here and probably with a second entry right over there if I would have been aware of this kind of situation. And yeah, closing is then another story around 20R again, probably. Okay, let's look at this. For me, this was right now the same methodology which I used here. Was the same methodology how I would have been using here up there, you know, hop on the train trade. Here you can see price took a liquidity. This is, you know, whenever I see something like this is just stupid trades, stupid price action. I don't like this. Whenever they're doing stuff like this, is they just want to fool you. You know, they're fooling everybody at these kind of things because, yeah, they're just wicking above. So here, a lot of experienced traders are also losing their position. But you know, if you keep it with yes, look at this, with charge perfectly. So this is kind of the thing, you know. A lot of experienced trader will still lose because they will view this as a supply zone and they will view this as nice liquidity, you know, step by step liquidity, and then it's moving up to get the liquidity and to go down, but not above these highs. Would not make sense. But you can see here probably this is, look at this is the supply zone which they used at the end. So they used whole liquidity here, so that they can go short. And the most important thing for us is also, generally speaking, because we've been above this one, you don't need to be above this one, but you're above these kind of highs, so you know there is liquidity and you're just waiting for charge, you know. And this is simply, whenever you're waiting for charge, you will be always on the better side. Here you have your valid charge, price is moving up. Where exactly? In this supply zone. Perfectly. Okay, does this make sense, guys? Hopefully, you know. So here is your charge down, and liquidity. I just feel so stupid currently, guys, to be honest. I feel just so stupid because I didn't recognize this one thing. You know, it's sometimes, you know, where you just don't recognize some stuff. And at the end, it's just easy, you know. And here, a quick tip for whenever you have liquidity, just, you know, just here, it's liquidity in this case because it's charged. It's so minimalistic. You can put it a little bit, you know, just a little bit above that wick just to get some extra risk reward out of this kind of thing. Here, of course, your stop loss above 1.8 pip stop loss, which is crazy for GU, and go short with that thing. Go short, and again, 20R, you know. So that's probably also why I'm successful with this 20R, because I'm always reaching them. So most of the cases, if you're going for a 1 to 2 pip stop loss after 20R, it's enough profit for the day, it's enough profit for the week if you're doing this several times. So that's always my daily target, you know, guys. Always 20R. I just don't feel that I need more risk reward, to be honest. I just see so many traders trying to always go for a 1 to 100 trade. Yes, also I would like to go one more time for once in my life for a 1 to 100. Yes, would be nice. With swing trading, it's very easy possible, but with day trading, this is difficult, you know. You need to catch movement of 100 pips with 1 pip stop loss, which I just feel very difficult. Sometimes possible, but not for me right now. You know, I don't need it, to be honest. Don't need it. I'm happy with the strategy currently. Of course, I will try to find there some refinements to get this also putting into practice. It's just here, you know, at this kind of price action, you know, what is this? Wyckoff distribution. Pretty easy. You just understand it afterwards, you know. So you need to anticipate it with this chart. You can anticipate it pretty easy and pretty fast. Here, same thing right now, you know, it's unmitigated supply, liquidity. Here, relatively equal highs as well, which I would say here coming up. And you're waiting. This is not my entry here, to be honest. My entry would be very easy. It would be there at this. This would be my entry, because price is here giving you charge, you know. Here, this is the first charge, second charge on the 1 minute. So this is where I'm even interested in looking at it. Man, guys, I just realizing currently that we missed on so many and so crazy and so easy trades. So it's really easy, you know. So it's always afterwards, but this is the process behind it. Here, liquidity. This is our entry style pattern. Coming up, bam, dropping. Look at this, it drops, and I guess 20R again, you know, like always. Let's see. Because in this case, it could target this one as well. Promise you. So I guess it will come here. Not sure if it will, respect this. It's also a possibility currently, because if you look at 15-minute time frame, it closed above it. But we are not at any, we're not at any important 15 minutes supply demand zones there. So let me just show it to you here once again. Is it clear? Hopefully yes. I'm going to make right now a quick screenshot just to share it with you in the chats. Let's just let it like this. 13R, 21R, 21R. So good. 2020 and 14. Easy possible today. This is our mastery. This is how we should be, guys. This is our target. This is these kind of trades you need to catch. You don't need to catch right now this long. You don't need to catch this long. Yes, look at this. It's also here, perfect charge. It's a simple charge here what the price is doing. So of course, why not catching this? But for catching this, you need to understand, yes, this is a relevant 1 minute demand zone, so that I'm going to go up, because my target is to get here this liquidity and to get a mitigation on the supply zone, because I would like to bring the price on the long term to the downside. So it could be tricky, this kind of thing. This here makes just much more sense, because you have your liquidity, So yeah, let me just do here a screenshot. This is good. Okay. I guess EURUSD doesn't make sense to watch it as well, because EURUSD was just super bearish today. Same kind of thing. Look at this, guys. That was the last price action which I explained to you. As I told you, this is where I'm going to close it, and boom, this kind of thing just dropped. Crazy, really crazy. So it was here at the point, the first entry possibility with this pretty nice charge coming up to your supply zone, and boom, moving down. And then let's monitorize today's price action. Minute 15, did we have something? I guess nothing, because EURUSD was just crazy today. Nothing, really nothing. So EURUSD was not tradable from my point of view today. I didn't even really check it out, because it just looked so weird. Look at this price. I mean, what is this? What is this? So it doesn't even make sense today to watch this. It's just, to keep it in mind, guys, it's because of they've been just closing. It is probably currently fundamentally driven as hell. You have here just pure liquidity, guys. It's just pure liquidity, and I explained that. Yeah, that's why it is doing it currently. Okay, then I would say we're going to make some analysis right now for tomorrow, so how we can get something out of tomorrow. Where I expect still bearish drop, probably at some point potentially price will reverse. To be honest, I cannot give you right now any details about that, because I'm not sure which level will potentially hold currently. So if you look here, you have here some demand zones, which one are relevant for me. This one is relevant for me. No, this one. This one. It's right now the situation is like this. We just would like to see price. Thank you, Jeremy, at this point for this nice hack. Really enjoyed this. Just had a problem with this extend tool as well, because I just would like to minimize it after the price is tapping into it, But it's good for right now just to not spend too much time doing this kind of thing. The thing is here, guys, just keep it in mind on the monthly time frame, we would like to see this demand zone here fully mitigated. So this one, I want to see a mitigation. So this is why we will definitely tap into it. Look at this. We're counting out the 4-hour demand, which I mapped out already. And we may see from their price doing something. So look at this. This 4-hour which I mapped out. Look at this, how powerful it was. That was the one 4-hour which it brought all the way back up. This is why it's always powerful to understand all the unmitigated 4-hour demand zones here to your left. And also where relevant is that they broke some significant structure. Okay, so potentially at one of these zones we may see, you know, minute 15 switching and then going a little bit bullish, and then at some point dropping lower, probably even tapping here to mitigate some supply zones. I don't know what it will do. I'm curious. Yes, so that's the idea, you know. So here, guys, please wait here for some nice break of structure to see a shift. So currently it's already looking, you know, looking like it's doing that Wyckoff accumulation thing at the moment. When we got the confirmation, long is to go, guys, long is to go. We just would like to see price going a little bit higher to liquidate. Here's something, you know, there's just pure liquidity here, probably tapping into the supply zone. I don't know. I will definitely update you tomorrow because it's just complicated currently. You know, we will see Asia. Let's see how Asia liquidity will be provided, if we will grab it or not. Yeah, let's go to GU, guys. Let's see what GU is doing. So GU, yeah, it's about, you know, GU is interesting because GU is about to tap into the demand zone very soon. Need to check out the 4-hour demand zones as well. So it's definitely this one where we are currently. We have this one, plus we get something here. These 4 demand zones are relevant for me, where I'm going to look at something. So probably because after such a drop, we may see something here as well. So it already looks, you know, like price is about to shift here. Still think that, yeah, we will probably mitigate this kind of thing. So we come back here, monitorize here the minute 15 demand zones. And this is where we didn't tap, I guess, you know, I guess we didn't tap into it already. So you got here your demand zone. And this one is also relevant because it's the extreme and has here liquidity, you know. This one is already mitigated. So I would just look for these 2 levels, you know. And let's see what it will bring us tomorrow. What the price will do tomorrow. Coming here into these levels, seeing here something would be nice. You know, so, you know, already providing liquidity, potentially targeting it, going up higher, breaking, for instance, this structure. And then we will look here for a nice charge, price action confirmation entry, boom. That's my idea for tomorrow. So definitely I think that tomorrow we will have a good chance for a buying opportunity, and if not, you know, if we will go lower, then yeah, you know where the targets are, somewhere around here, also possible. So I know it was a little bit longer video. Yeah, we spoke about a lot of things: mindset, price action, recap, trade setups, recap. I hope that this video helped you a lot, guys. So it was really full of details. If you can understand this video, then I think nothing can stop you. And I wish you all the best, guys. Really enjoyed the time with you in Inner Circle. And let's rock it tomorrow, I guess. Let's rock it tomorrow and the upcoming weeks, of course, as well. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.